All right, y'all, I'm stoked because I did it. I got this thing reprogrammed. So I basically used one of these that I found off of Amazon. It like allows you to connect to the chip and on the device here, basically using this little thing. And then from that, it plugs into a USB. And from there, you're able to basically read in the hex code that lives on these guys and then manipulate it and load stuff back in. So let's go ahead and go into the heads down overview in just a second, and I will show you all of the Digimon sprites that I added or swapped out, along with some of those English sprites themselves to translate out of Japanese. On top of those, you'll see that I did change out. I've got like this orange cage now, and then the buttons you'll see here in a second on that overhead shot, they're actually like these neon green that come off of one of the X devices that I have. So I've got this thing like totally customized to fit me now, and I couldn't be more excited. This is the top-down view, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. So I did figure out how to get these into debug mode. It was kind of challenging. You have to basically bridge a circuit is the way I think you phrase it. I know very little about this kind of thing, but there's under the screen here, there's actually something called the JP1 circuit. It kind of looks like two little electrical node-like things, and you have to bridge those in order to get into debug mode. And then you have to have a USB-C cable plugged into this, and then effectively what you have to do is hit go into the reset menu, and then you're going to hit all three buttons at once, and then B and C at the same time, and it should get you into, at least from what I can tell, a menu where you can do a handful of different things. All I'm going to do today, though, is show off the Digimon that I decided to basically swap out. So I did go ahead and swap out a handful of the adults, a few of the ultimates, and two of the perfects. I didn't touch the Jogress, though, because I'm not sure when I'll be able to do that one. I also changed one of the backgrounds, but it's one that you have to unlock, and I didn't choose to unlock that yet, so we'll have to see. I don't know which one it is, or at least how to unlock it. I changed a specific one that I think was like BG1 gold or something like that, but I figured it'd be a fun thing to unlock. And the other cool thing is I haven't looked at the Humulos website to see what the different criteria is to evolve these. So I know which ones I've swapped, but I have no idea which ones are actually going to evolve into different things. So I know that I'll have the base 2, which I think is Gabumon and Elecmon, but past that, I don't know what I'm going to be getting. And I think what I'll do probably is use the website's random generator to see what I kind of land up with. But anyways, here we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. What I'll have to do is reset this real quick because as you can see, I do not have it reset. So let me grab something to reset that. All right, so I have got that reset. So all we've got to do, from what I can tell, is hit this button here, and then we're going to do this. Perfect. So we are in the debug mode, and I believe at least here all we can do is view characters. So we'll go through the characters that I decided to change over, and basically we've got our Punamon, and then we have the Sunamon. I did leave Gabumon and Elecmon. From there, we also have Kabuterimon, Garurumon, Angemon, and then I believe, yep, here we go. So instead of Birdramon, I did Dark Tyrannomon X, and then instead of, I believe it's Chillmon, I did the Mad Leomon is what the sprite was called, but I believe it's actually like Dark Leomon perhaps. And then on top of that, we went ahead and I did a Dark Vidramon. I believe it is either that or Black Vidramon. Left Vegemon, and then we left the Skull Greymon as well. Here, instead of the Metal Maymon, I'm pretty sure I replaced that with the Metal Greymon Virus X, I believe is which one this one is. And then I also replaced, I believe it's Vetamon with, I think this guy's name is Dryamon. I forgot to look it up, but I wanted to kind of turn the veggie Digimon into something like a tree or another, plant-like form. So I thought this would be kind of a cool swap out. Then instead of doing the Skull Maymon, I'm just not a big fan of that sprite. I never have been. I don't know why. I'm sure there are a lot of folks that love it. I decided to go ahead and do Metal Tyrannomon, kind of keeping with the idea of doing like, I guess, a Skull Greymon, and then I know it's the same stage, but instead of it going kind of like the Skull Greymon path, I figured it would be cool to have it potentially just go back into like a Metal Tyrannomon or something like that. Instead of doing Crescarurumon, I also swapped that one out for Black War Greymon X. If you can't tell, I really like the X Virus Digimon. I think those are really cool. The Digimon XC device, hands down, probably one of my favorite Digi V-Pets that I've got. I've absolutely loved it. In fact, I really wish that they would just do some of those in color. I would be so excited for that. But either way, past that, the tree one that I had set there, I believe Vetamon, it would evolve into what I believe is Ebamon. And so I swapped Ebamon out for, I believe this is called Grandis Kuagamon. So really stoked on that one. I was thinking trying to keep with like the tree vibe, turning into like a bug-like creature, bug-like Digimon that might live in the tree or something. I don't know. I thought that would be kind of a fun way to do that. And then I did leave just a Megamon S in there because I don't know what I may end up progressing with it, if anything at all. But I thought this would be kind of a cool way to show off the neat stuff you can do. And, you know, really cool that the community out there has figured out how to do this kind of thing. I mean, I couldn't believe that this was possible. So huge kudos out there to everyone that has contributed to being able to set these devices up like this. How cool. All right, hopefully you think that lineup was pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about being able to mod this and get in the Digimon that I wanted and swap out some of the ones that I'm not as big of a fan of. Really huge shout out to everybody that made this possible. I did so much Googling and scouring the internet and watching other YouTube videos and stuff. I'm a little nervous about linking to like the various resources I used. I'll put it this way, if you know, you know. I just don't want to get myself in trouble, you know, basically spreading on how to do this and not knowing whether or not that's okay yet. I don't know the Digimon community super well, or the community that I got these resources from. So until I'm a little bit more inundated and feel comfortable and thinking that I could potentially share a little bit more on how this works, I'm not going to do that quite yet. But if you do a little bit of Google Foo, you'll be able to find how to do this. So I would recommend just starting there. So I was actually mid-editing this video and I got a response back from Uchu, who was one of the people that I watched. They've got an awesome YouTube channel that I will link over right here somewhere. Either way, that is one of the videos that I watched trying to learn how to edit and mod these things. There are, like I said, other people out there. There's a lot of folks that have worked on sprites. I'm just, again, uncomfortable releasing any information until I have approval from those individuals, and I did reach out to a few but never heard back. So I'm going to go ahead and link Uchu's video over, but hopefully you can watch that and get a little bit more reference points for how I got to this stage if you're trying to do the same thing. Anyways, let me know, what was your dream roster? If you could come up with any roster of Digimon from the beginning to end, what kind of Digimon would you choose? Do you have favorites? Do you like a certain type? Do you have like a certain design that you enjoy? Because I know I've noticed I'm leaning more towards the Virus X or the Antibody X Digimon. I also am starting to notice that I seem to really like the Dragon Digimon, which I think totally makes sense. They're freaking awesome. So anyways, I'm curious to know, if you could have your own custom model and your own custom roster, what would you end up going with? Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you thought it was kind of cool to see that you can do some neat modding with this stuff. I did end up using a generator, like I mentioned, on Humulos's website, and I ended up getting a Gabumon. So you're going to see here shortly some pictures and videos of him just kind of battling and out with different things. And I can't wait for you to see where he ends up going, and I will catch you next time. Have a good one, everybody.